All right, so we're talking about effective negotiating techniques, and we talked about using sources of leverage like you have money, they don't. A lot of younger folks, inexperienced at negotiating things for like cars and houses, they think, oh my gosh, will this guy please sell me this car? No, 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 no. You have the money. They do not. They have a whole parking lot full of cars. And how many people around town sell cars? Lots. So it turns out you have the leverage. They do not. So if they don't give you something they want, they can't help you with this or that, or they got to check your credit rating over and over again or whatever. You think, well, that's really nice, but I think I'll take my suitcase full of money and go elsewhere. You will be amazed at how they come around to your way of thinking. So know when you have leverage. To make sure time is on your side. So if you have little children are notoriously short span of attention, so they're going to get bored. They want to run around the parking lot, the car deal, and all that. Don't bring them with you, right? Go when they're in school, get a babysitter, whatever you got to do, right? But don't have time work against you. There's sort of a famous story that the Japanese, when you go to do business in Japan, they will do something called the Japanese stall. The way it works is this: is they want to know your travel plans so they can help you coordinate them and all that. I don't know why. When I was there talking to that time, I went to talk to Sony and a couple other people. They kept saying, "Oh yeah, we need to help you with your travel plans and your hotel reservations. It's very complicated here." Like, what's complicated? We're staying at the Hilton. We tell the Hilton how long we're going to be there. We have our airline reservations with Japan Airlines. How is this hard? But anyway, they really wanted to know our travel our itinerary and so forth, right? So fortunately, we had an experienced guy with our trip, so he said we're gonna meet with Japan or meet with the Sony guys on so many days. And the last day or day and a half or whatever it was, we had set up to get a tour of Tokyo and Tokyo Harbor and that kind of stuff. Okay, fine. So we're talking with him, and we're not getting very far. We're taking the tour of the video camera place. We're doing benchmarking. All that's going great, but the actual negotiations over robots and things like that aren't moving forward very fast at all. And one thing I did know about the Japanese, though, when they fix their work calendars, they stick to it, right? So it takes a long time to get on their calendar, but when they fix their calendar, they really stick to it. So they're right with us, but we're not getting much work done. And we're going to dinner, and we're eating egg noodles and all that kind of stuff. And I'm eating pigeon eggs in my meal and all that, and they're pretty good, by the way. Anyway, so things aren't moving forward very fast. And then the last day, we're supposed to talk to them. They're kind of pushing us like, okay, you guys are leaving, right? Well, we have the tour tomorrow. Oh yeah, you get your tour tomorrow. So today we got to wrap this stuff up. But they kind of stall in the morning, and by the end of the day, these guys are now they're ready for us to settle stuff, but they want us to give in because time is of a premium here. We're running out of time, and they want us to give in on lots of stuff. Well, we had a big powwow the day before with our own team, and our leader told us, look, this is exactly what's going to happen. You watch. At the end of the day, they're going to suddenly want us to give in on a bunch of stuff, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell them we don't care about the trip around Tokyo, which we in fact did not. We had been going out after work and kind of doing our own little sightseeing. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back to work the next day. So we told them. Yeah, we're sorry we can't come to a better resolution today. I know it's our last scheduled day, but since we can't, we've already canceled our trip around Tokyo Harbor, and we're coming into work tomorrow. Well, this is not good news for them because, first of all, they want us to settle in a rush, and two, they all have stuff planned for the next day. And when they set their calendars, they don't like to deviate. In the U.S., we might just call some people and say, look, I got these people in from far, far away. I'm going to have to move our meeting. Not cancel it, but postpone it and meet later. So that really upsets them. And so we knew that. So now whose time is favoring us? So real quickly, like, oh, but we don't want you guys to come to work tomorrow. We have stuff to do. Like, well, that's too bad. You guys didn't settle today. We're coming in tomorrow. We're here. We'll be here. What time you want us here? 7:30 in the morning. We're here. So real quickly now, they're feeling the heat to settle, not us. And things got a lot more cooperative really, really quickly. So that was a great experience for me to learn from a very experienced person, but that's how you have to manage time. You got to make sure time is on your side. You have to make sure you have more time than the other person. Because when they run out of time, it's not uncommon for people to go to Japan on business. One of my negotiation books, the guy's talking about his first trip. He's literally signing the contract in the car on the way to the airport. Right? And his boss giving a hard time because, like, did you give away the whole company? Come on. It was a terrible deal. So need to be careful. Further down the list, show the other side that you understand their position, and that's certainly true with active listening. You repeat So I understand here's your priorities. Here's the things your sponsors, your stakeholders want out of this meeting. You can't go back until you have this, or this, that kind of thing. Second last one is suppress your emotions. We already talked about that. How you going to be collegial and working together when somebody is not able to have a calm, rational conversation. And the last one is know your BATNA. BATNA stands for Best Alternative to a Negotiated Agreement. B-A-T-N-A, Best Alternative to Negotiated Agreement. And what it means is this. What happens if there's no deal? All right, so you're car shopping, used car shopping, and go back to decision-making one. You like that Camry, right? Remember that one where we did the weighted attributes for the car? So you're car shopping and you find that Camry, and you talk to a salesperson and you're asking for a lower price. I think I should pay less. And look, here's my information off the internet, blah, blah, blah. I think you guys are $400 too high on the price. And you sort of work them over in that a little bit. And all you get is, oh, no, we could sell this car tomorrow for this price. Blah, 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 blah. So this is the price, take it or leave it. It probably won't be here tomorrow. So now here's your choice. What's your alternative to a negotiated agreement? So what happens if there's no deal? Right? There's no deal. Sorry, I bumped the microphone. There's no deal. Are you going to buy? What happens if you don't buy this car? Are there other cars for sale? Yes. Do you still have the money? Yes. Is this the only one out there? Absolutely not. So who has the power here? You do. You have the money. Any dealer in town will take your money for the right car, right? So you have an advantage here. So what's your best alternative? Your best alternative is you have to go shopping. You go buy something else, that Mazda or whatever else was on the list. You go talk to them. So there's a little bit of effort on your part. Other than that, it costs you nothing to go on. So it turns out your BATNA is quite strong here. They, on the other hand, say, oh yeah, we could sell this car tomorrow for this price. Really? Go ahead, because this car's been here for weeks and nobody's bought it yet. So it can't be that good of a price. And I remember I drove by a place on the way home from work. I saw this particular car sitting there for weeks. So I was sure to mention that to them when we were negotiating. So what is your BATNA? So if you're in the job search, right, you get out of college, you have a job search. If you have 2 job offers, that's more than twice as good as having 1 job offer, right? Because if you don't like the 1 job offer, what's your alternative? You take the 2nd job offer. So your BATNA is much, much, much improved. So you should improve your BATNA. You should keep yourself marketable. You should talk to companies. You should keep your resume up to date. More importantly, keep your training up to date. Keep your performances modern and up to date. So your alternative is quite good. So if your negotiated agreement is you're going to keep working for this company, but you're unhappy with that, you have some choices. You don't feel trapped and caged in and all of that. So you need to pay attention to your BATNA. What happens if there's no decision? Can you retreat from this meeting and save face? Right? You should talk to, if it's for your company, the people that send you to the meeting, you should talk to them. What happens if they won't make a reasonable deal? They come in there, they try to bully me, I'm not having it, and they try to take advantage of me, but I don't let that happen. What's the consequences of no deal here? And you need to clearly understand that. So just how badly do we need a deal? Not this deal, but a deal. Right? So if they try to offer you a lousy deal, you know if you have to take it or not. Those are the conversations you need to have with your sponsors, the people that send you to the negotiations, before you have the negotiations. Okay, so when you buy a house, when you buy a car, before you get into the emotions of the negotiations, you should have a plan with whoever's whoever your other stakeholders are. So if it's a house for your family, then your spouse or whoever, right? You should have an idea of, well, not an idea, you should know the exact amount. How high are we willing to go? Or if you're going to sell your house, how low are we willing to go? Right? And you should have this fixed in your head, so when the time comes, you've thought it calmly through, you have agreement from your stakeholders, and you can confidently make the deal. Or you can confidently say, no, that's not okay. You're not even close. And if you want to talk more, fine. But if that's truly your final offer, then we're done talking. Right? I'll just put the house is still in the market. I'll have other people look at it, and we'll see what happens. So that's what we mean by BATNA. BATNA is not your lowest price. That's your reservation price. How much is I'm willing to pay, or how little I'm willing to take when I sell this thing. That's your reservation price. That's not this. Your BATNA is what happens if there's no deal. What are the consequences? And that's why these people in the Middle East, when they, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, the Israelis, when they sit down at the conference table, even though they've been killing each other, even though they hate each other, right? They sit down at the conference table and negotiate. Why? Because what's their BATNA? Their BATNA is, what's the best alternative to negotiate agreement? If there's no negotiated agreement, what's going to happen? Right? The alternative is they're going to keep killing each other, and and they're getting more and more sick of it, so they're more and more likely to talk. And so if they can figure that out, you can figure that out too. So those are my tips on negotiations. Again, there's lots of good information on the internet, and there's hundreds and hundreds of books on negotiations, so you can learn some tips. There's also lots of videos on YouTube. Books from people like Fisher, Uri, people like that have lots of good books on negotiations.